So good evening, everyone. Very nice to have all of you on the call today. So today is a very interesting day wherein we are going to be talking about the most traditional assets in a most new age format, right? So gold and silver has been with us, I think, since the time civilization was born, right? And they still remain with us, very dear. But the format keeps on changing. The way we are investing in it, the way we are engaging with gold and silver, they keep on evolving at all points in time. And today we have team from Motilal Oswal who is going to be sharing with us with a very interesting concept which I've come out with, which not only talks about one of these two assets, but how both of them can be wrapped around in a very interesting format for us to consume. But before I hand it over to the team, I would like to share another feedback, another update from our side. So as all of you must be knowing that as of by now, we are now conducting lot of webinars, lot of value-added material, and we are also creating a lot of value-added material for our partners. We have recently created a very interesting presentation on getting regular income from mutual funds. Essentially, it is how can you use SWP to provide to create regular income from mutual funds. It's a very nicely designed content. And if you need that presentation, please reach out to our sales team or your RMs, or you can reach out to us, reach out to me or any of my colleagues, and we'll be very happy to share it with you. It covers almost every aspect of what is required. If you go to a customer, the customer will probably ask about what are the possible options which you have while investing while taking money for regular income, so it takes care of them. It compares all the possible options and also talks about how SWP from mutual funds can be utilized under different conditions for different investors. And not only that, but how it has done in last 15-20 years and how the future looks like. So we'll be very happy if you want to use that presentation for your investors. That will be very nice. And other than that, I will also like to share that we are now going to be coming out with very interesting sales material for all of you, which you can use while you are conversing with your clients. Like for example, within next 1 or 2 months, we are going to be bringing out a very interesting sales kit for you, which will cover almost everything a customer can ask for, and you will have it in a nice PDF format which you can utilize. So that's from my side. I would also like to inform that next month we are going to be conducting almost 7 to 8 sessions on different aspects, and we will have very interesting people coming in from other mutual fund companies and from some trainers and etc. And other such people who are going to be talking to us about the different aspects of investing. Not only that, we are also going to be doing very interesting sessions for your customers. So if you want to bring along your customers for certain sessions, you are very welcome to do so. The list is going to be available with you with your RMs very short maybe in a week or 2 time, which you can utilize. So with that, I would now hand it over to I will hand it over back to Avnish. Avnish, if you can please take it over, and then and team, I'm sure all of you will enjoy the presentation. I've already seen the content, and I think this is one of the most interesting content which Motilal Oswal MMC has prepared, which really helps you understand. Sometimes you think that you know the asset class, gold and silver, we think we know, but when you actually go through some of the ideas which is there in the presentation, you realize there are so many other things which you can look at, and this is what Vikas and the team is going to help us with. So over to you, Avnish, and then we'll take it from there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashish. So I'm delighted to welcome Vikas, who is a veteran of mutual fund industry, having experience of more than 21 years. He has worked with various mutual funds on institutional sales side, starting his career with ILNFS Mutual Fund, ING Benchmark Mutual Fund, Union KBC Mutual Fund. He has also he was also instrumental in setting up BSE Star Mutual Fund platform, and has also ventured in one of the fintech platforms for mutual fund advisors. He has spent extensive time in Benchmark Mutual Fund, a pioneer of ETFs and indexing in India. Currently, he heads passive fund sales in Motilal Oswal Asset Management. So over to you, Vikas, to take this forward.
Thank you, Avnish. Thank you so much. Thank you, AssetPlus, for giving us this platform. And thank you all the partners for joining in today. Hope the language is good English, right? You want me to mix it up?
I think we are good with English. Ashish?
Sorry. Yeah, we are good because whatever works with you, right?
Yeah.
If you want to give a tadka of Hindi in between, why not? I mean, after all, we are having 2 funds, so why not 2 languages?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Okay, sure. Yes. So thank you once again, Ashish, for this background which is given by you and Avnish also. So yes, today is a very different discussion that we're going to have, which is the love for precious metal for by Indians, or not only for Indians, for global is known. Okay, if I can take you back to few hundred years ago, and if I can tell you one small story, how when actually investors started. A lot of these European started exploring metals, not metals, so the exploring continents, which are the continents that we can, because they always lived in their own continents. And when they discovered new continents and new geographies, they realized, in fact, the first written history is about a Spanish explorer when they started exploring in 1400 AD, and they reached one continent which is the south of America. Because they never knew, which was the continent they were reaching out. So they reached there. When they reached, they realized that these people are very different people. Of course, they're all human beings, but they had a different type of attire. The language was very different. The lifestyle was very different. The food they use were eating were very, very different. Okay, but one thing which they realized, that the love for precious metal was as as dear as for Europeans or Spanish people. So they saw these people were using gold and silver in different types of jewelry, in terms of their crown, in terms of their wealth, storage of wealth. So the love for these precious metal has been lived not only few hundred years, but few thousand years. If you go back to a few centuries, from ancient Egyptian. In fact, I can go to Ramayana 5,000 years ago, okay, or Mahabharata, which is 2,500 years ago. We have seen these stories of Sone ki Lanka, we have heard in Ramayana. Okay, so they're saying the entire country was the city was, or the entire country was of gold, right? So we have heard these stories, and that gold has lived and silver has lived for thousands of years. Okay, and is part of every civilization. Not only that, this is being treated as the sign of wealth, but it's also sign of prosperity. So it also gives you a lot of wisdom, a lot of wealth. Okay, so it is not only Lakshmi what we invite, we also invite the Kuber also along with that, who is a treasurer, so that you should get more of wealth through these precious metals. Yeah, so why are they so relevant in so many ages? So we have seen this trading system through barter, where we have used different barter like cattle, food, sand, diamonds, but everybody had their own challenges, right? And then we move to economic system like currency notes. There also we have seen, see, this is a promise note which you get it, right? This promise note is promised by a president or a governor, saying that this is the value that I offer you to give. Okay, you can print it as much as you want. We have seen the way some of the countries have been printing these currencies, but they actually lack universal appeal. And how can I say this? During Ukraine crisis, we saw some of the sanctions by some of the developed economies on Russia, right? So you may be saying my currency is good, but it should be tradable globally. So that's where the importance of precious metal comes into picture, where you can see they're durable. If you just put it in the soil, and if you take it out of the thousands of years, it will actually remain like that. Divisible, combinable, homogeneous, and very, very important scarce. You can't just print them, or you can't just grow them like rice and wheat, right? So that's why it has survived the test of time, for 1,000 years. In fact, we know some of the currency history, but if I can take you back last 700 years, we can see that all these currencies, from Portugal, Spain, Netherlands, France, Britain, and now US, they have lived around 120 years. The gold is, US has just completed 100 years of its survival, okay? But the gold has remained throughout. This is just a on paper record, but we know that for thousands of years, these are the currencies have been used as a part of, these are the metals have been part as reserved as a part of currencies, right? In fact, if I can go back 50 years back when US was trying to promote their dollar, they said, my gold dollar is pegged to gold. So if no country buys the dollar from you, come to me, I'll give you equal amount of gold. That was a promise which was given by US government. That's how they made popularize the dollar, right? So they tagged it to gold, right? And that's why JP Morgan says, gold is the money, gold is the only money, everything else just a credit or promise, right? So let's take an example here. We have seen for thousands of years, but let's take recent examples, say 20, 25 years. Suppose you get stuck on a island, okay, say in say 2000s, okay, and you got stuck with 5,000 rupees and equal amount of gold. Let's take an example. 2000, this movie came, Kaho Na Pyare, Akshay, Hrithik Roshan, and this Amisha Patel got stuck, and this was in 2000, okay, and for some reason people could not rescue you, say for 20, 21 years, okay, and then they rescue it in 2022. Then what happens to your valuables? The 5,000 rupees actually, because of inflation, has a lower value, 1,200 rupees, right? But the gold, which we have seen in last 21 years, has gone to 50,000, almost 10 times. Okay, so these metals not only have a universal appeal, but definitely has a store of value. So if you just keep it them, hold it for long, it actually catches up the inflation rate. In fact, it has been said that whatever you could buy with 1 ounce of gold thousands of years back, same thing you can buy today also with 1 ounce of gold. That means it is as a perfect inflation hedge for thousands of years. Yeah, we Indians know, if you look at our previous generations, our grandmothers, mothers, they have been investing in gold because they can use it for economic emergencies, to take loan, to run their family in terms of emergencies. And this is not only talking about Indian household, but this is globally. Wealthy people are looking at these metals, gold and silver, as a part of their economic emergency wealth. Privacy. You don't know how much gold I'm holding, right? So you can easily hold it in private. Portable wealth, if you're carrying 1 kg of gold, you're carrying 53 lakhs rupees, right? So it's a portable wealth. If you 53 lakhs rupees in cash, you can imagine how much it would be, right? And does not lose value. If you hold it for 50 years, and same thing, after 100 years, if you hold it this gold or silver, this will actually catch up their price after 100 years also. And there are a few wealthy people have been stacking up bullions. So definitely, if you can get in your portfolio as well. So some of the popular known people like Ray Dalio, who is a world largest hedge fund manager, he is also recommending that 15% of portfolio should be in terms of gold. And he's also recommending silver. I will cover why he's recommending silver. Lord Rothschild definitely has moved to gold from USD, and Warren Buffett invested in silver. He did not invest in gold, but definitely in silver. So that talks about a lot of billionaires actually moving to stacking up gold in terms of their wealth. Okay. Now for Indian people, we have a special place for both these metals. From birth to different occasions, like the auspicious, like childbirth, we give silver jewelry, we give the silver glass, silver spoon for them to feed with. Okay, whether it's a festival, we give them. Whether marriage, we also give them. But very, very importantly, we just do not give them as a prize of as a part of the gift. See, everybody believes, the buyer and taker believes that this also will help you to get wisdom. It will also help you to get that prosperity. Okay, so these are not only signs of wealth; it's also signs of wealth and prosperity. Okay. But if you talk about investment, India is the second largest consumer of gold. And India also consumes 57% of the global silver. Okay, so that's a large, huge amount of bullions in India. But we don't know that 80% of our silver demand is out of jewelry and silverware. So it's not about the puja ka thali which you are buying in silver, which is the demand, or the jewelry, but a lot of, like, because it's a very highest electrical conductive of all metals. So it has been used in all the batteries, all the electric vehicles. Okay, photography, industrial uses are very, very high. So all these laptop, computer, we see they are there. In fact, antibacterial properties. People have been you drinking water in silver ware, or kids have been gifted it because it has antibacterial property, which will actually purifies water, right? Some of the major industries which are using silver are solar panel in their batteries, electric vehicle in their batteries, then whether it is laptop, mobile, or your tab, also using gold and silver as a part of their wiring system. COVID-19 also has seen the medical industry, the uses of silver and gold is also very, very high, especially silver. Yeah, so when you buy, so this is what is the traditional way of buying gold? You go to jewelers, you buy a particular jewelry, and after or every year you buy something, every occasion you buy some gold, and whenever you want to make a jewelry, you basically break it, and you make that jewelry. Now, when you buy, they'll charge you making charges. When you break it, they'll charge making charges. Okay, so every time you end up paying premium and discount. So suppose, if I want to buy it for my daughter for next 15 years, I start buying it today. But what is happening? I'll buy it in that wire or something, that jewelry. If she does not like it, okay, she will break those jewelry and make something else. So there is a lot of premium and discount which is being paid in these metals. Okay, so rather than, the best way is to buy these precious metal in the fund format. Okay, relax, whenever you just want to make a jewelry, just sell it, and you buy jewelry. So there you don't pay any discount or premium. You buy it at the global prices, you sell it at the global prices, and then you actually can make. It's a much better way. I've been, in fact, doing this for a long time. In fact, just to tell you, it's a proud thing that the first gold ETF concept was launched by an Indian fund house, which is named as Benchmark Mutual Fund. I was part of that fund, which is a pioneer of ETF and indexing. 2002, they conceived that concept, but SEBI took almost 5-7 years to give approval, and the same offer document used by US and Australian asset manager, and they launched on their country, right? And 2007 only we could launch this fund. So I've been buying this for every month, okay, and every Diwali I gift because there is always, you have to give, right? Give to your wife. So I do like kind of a SIP which I do, and every Diwali I sell it off and I buy gold. This I've been doing it for last 15 years. Okay, so that's a much convenient way. In fact, here you are buying in single fund, you are buying both gold and silver. You need not buy separately. Yeah, so we know diversification. If you look at the correlation, the way equity market and these metal markets behave are very, very different. Okay, and that is the reason why it should be part of every client's asset allocation. It's a perfect inflation hedge, universal appeal, and definitely a safe haven. This is I was talking about the correlation matrix. You can see gold correlation with equity, 50 just 1.4%. So it's pretty low. What does that mean? When equity falls, gold does not. Gold in fact goes up. Okay, so that actually helps you to reduce your losses, and that's why these, and the same thing with silver also. So that's why these metals should be part of your portfolio. So yeah, definitely one did not invest in these formats. To invest in these format, you can always buy an easy, economic, and effective way, and that's what Motilal Oswal Gold and Silver ETFs fund of fund. So this fund has started from yesterday, 26th of September till 7th of October. So post Diwali, so entire Navaratri and Dussehra, this NFO will go on. Overall 1% expense ratio, including the underlying cost. Okay, and we'll be buying the available ETFs, gold and silver ETFs from the market. So we are not launching our own silver and gold ETF. Already there are many. So we'll be buying from the existing available gold and silver ETFs from the market. Okay, so how are you going to invest? So we are going to invest in a 70-30 ratio. You can see here. So 70-30 ratio means 70 will be gold, 30 will be silver, and we will not. This is starting allocation, so we will not hold it. Post NFO, what will happen? If silver price go up, the silver weight of 30% can go to 35, 40, 50% also. Same way, if gold does well, more and better than silver, then gold weight will go in the index. This is kind of an index that we have created. Okay. So what? How does it help? So we are not restricting any currency, any metals growth. Whichever does better, investor gets that benefit. Now we will only step in when the one of the weight will cross 90%. Okay, so suppose gold keeps on growing for some reasons and goes up to 92%. That time we'll come into picture and we'll rebalance it back to 90%. Why? Because we at least need two metals in the portfolio. We just don't want a single 95% fund of one metal. Same thing is silver can go up to 90%. If process 90%, we'll bring it back to 90%, right? So it will starting 70-30, and as both of the metals will behave, that's the returns will be captured in the fund. So we must be wondering why 70-30. Of course, globally, gold has been favorite. Gold has a higher economic value, highly liquid. Okay, it is like kind of a currency which has been looked at. Okay, globally also, if you look at how there are a lot of funds which are running, they're actually running in this 70-30 ratio. In fact, there is a bullion exchange, commodity exchange. There's an index which is also based on 70-30. And why lower allocation to silver? Silver, we have seen it's very volatile than gold. So you will see some certain surge in the price and also correct in silver because there's industrial uses. Okay. Now, historically, if you see last 21 years almost, okay, you will see that the gold and silver average ratio has been 71 and 29% only. Okay, so gold has gone from 55 to 85% and silver 15 to 45%. Okay, so average is almost 70-30%. So that's why it also makes sense to have that ratio to start with. Then whoever does well, that is how it will remain. So you can also see post NFO, the graph will be like this. Yeah, so coming back to performance, this performance, of course, this strategy has not outperformed gold because silver has not been that performing the way gold has performed. But overall, if you look at 5 years, 9.5-10% is a fantastic return in the portfolio. And 15 years, 10% returns are pretty good. But this is more from the equity asset allocation point of view. This is, we are not saying this asset class will do fantastic. But in crisis, in fact, we have seen these metals have been doing really well. Now, this is a grade which all of us know that how fixed income, international equity, domestic equity, and metals move. And you will see that metals have their own cycle, okay, and they definitely come back with their performance, right? And that's where they protect our portfolio. So they should be part of our portfolio, at least 10 to 15%, as suggested by, recommended by most of the investors, large investors. Now, interestingly, if you look at how they behave in the stress period, like bull recovery and bear period, where bull and bear, you will see gold is doing well, but recovery, you will see silver doing very well because it has an industrial usage, right? So overall, you will see the combination is much better than the standalone, especially if you compare this with equity. Okay. Now we've seen 4 crisis period: global financial, taper tantrum, yuan devaluation, COVID-19, and that's all of the. If you compare this with the asset classes, debt, international and Indian equity, it has done much better than these other asset classes. The SIP returns. Yeah. So a couple of more slides. So there are various other ways also of investing gold or silver in your portfolio. You can buy it from the commodity market, future market. You can buy it from sovereign gold bond. You can also go to a jeweler and buy these. But if you compare these, if you go to a jeweler and do SIP, at end of the period, you can do maximum is 3 years. By end of the period, you have to compulsory make a jewelry, right? They used to pay earlier 1 SIP, but now they are funding it only half of the SIP because prices have gone up. So compulsory you have to make jewelry. They will not give you gold equivalent of. So basically they also charge you that additional cost, right? Now, if you want to hold it for 10 years, you cannot do that there. You'll have to make a jewelry again when you want to give it to someone, your daughter or your daughter-in-law, she would again break it and make some other jewelry. So, those making charges you end up spending. Sovereign gold bond, they come in tranches, so they are not available throughout the year. Then after 5 years compulsory redemption, so you have to, you get that money back. Here, if you want to buy it for 20 years, 25 years, you can actually do that. Again, going to souvenir gold bonds or these gold SIP or the commodity market futures options gold, you cannot actually buy both together. You have to buy it both separately. Here in the same fund, you are buying 70-30, whichever does well, you will get that return and as low as 500 rupees. Okay, so you can do SIP, you can do 5 months SIP, 3 months SIP, lump sum, all those things are available with you. And whenever you want to buy a jewelry, just you get in cash. Okay, so or you get in an account. So that's all. So yes, why this fund? Definitely, if you look at overall the way markets are in panic, okay, because of the inflation rate, because of the war crisis, and also because of the US, the way interest rates are rising there, okay, the inflations are rising there, you will see that most of the people would go to a safe haven, which are these precious metal, gold and silver. Okay. So this is outlived all the every civilization. This should be part of all our investor portfolio, at least 10 to 15%. Okay, and lower correlation offers a great support, especially in terms of crisis. And both of them have a store of value, right? So this is a fantastic time. In fact, we have our commodity desk releasing a report when they talk about that gold and silver has bottomed out. So from here, you will see that's what the MOFS was talking about, from 7% to 17% kind of return in next 2 to 3 years from gold because of prices. So this is a good time. Clients have made money. So clients have booked profit at 17,000 and 18,000. Okay, so now clients are sitting on cash. If you want them to transact, then this is a great opportunity. We are launching this in a festival season, so Dussehra will come in between. Then this fund also will be available in Diwali. Okay, so unique opportunity, buying one fund, two schemes, two metals, very convenient and cost effective, overall 1% cost. So fantastic low cost product, which will actually help you to generate new businesses. Okay, activate clients, and once clients are activated, you can sell them other funds as well.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.